May 18, 2020 garden update. These are some tomatoes. These are from the greenhouse getting ready for planting. Have some sweet peas here. These were started from seed and they've got their trellis to grow up, homemade trellis. And these are some bins that some other folks didn't want, so we were able to use those. And we have some cosmos here started from seed as well, indoors. So they're a little bit small still, but hopefully they'll catch up. And some, I believe these are going to be pansies. These are actually, yep, pansies. So they were in here. I was cleaning out this basket today, and I found all these little guys in here. So I think they're from the seeds of the flowers. So I'm just going to let those grow and see what happens. Got the bucket garden happening over here. So some strawberries there. And some more cosmos, got some chives. I'm really happy with these nasturtiums, I think is the right name for them. And they were started from seed inside as well, just around April 10th or so they're looking really good. And then a couple weeks ago we started these peas, and some trellises were made today for them, so that's a first. There's some more nasturtiums. And this onion finally got a new home after being root bound for a couple of years from a pot from our friend Roman. So, and these strawberries were just kind of growing here and there in the yard, so they've got a new home here. Now what I really want to show you is our plots over here. So this plot, this is well, it's a hot mess right now, but I'm hoping it's going to become a real hot mess actually, as in a hot compost pile. So this is all the greens and browns collected over winter. So there's a lot of greens, but enough browns to kind of keep the balance. So a little bit extra there. So hopefully in about 4 weeks time, this is going to be all compost. I'm hoping it's going to get really hot. I'm planning on turning it 2-3 times a week. And then moving that compost into other parts of the yard and garden to use this plot for some late seeds like beans and kale, which I think mid-June, even late June will be just fine. Or kale later on, because that's a pretty hardy winter crop. So that's that. There was a little bit of odor off the greens because they had been sitting all winter, though most of the bins were pretty good. There was a lot of browns from paper bags and other compostable waste that was happening in there. And so this bin now is all ready to plant. Got some new compost in there, and some of the soil just mixed in and took out all the quack and stuff. Now one last thing I want to show you is, some of you may know that last year, let's grab my shovel here, take you along to the front yard. We did quite a bit of compost burial and layering with kitchen scraps and greens, and that all ended up over here in the front yard. So this was some pretty hard clay soil happening. So what we did was we took the greens, which is basically kitchen waste, so I like to call it indoor compostable waste, and layered it with browns, covered it with cardboard and some mulch, and left it for the winter. So this first area was like early June, and July this all went in, so not a lot of that's pretty much gone there, whatever was buried in there. So let's check another section here. Towards the back here was the first ones we did, so try to move some out of the way. So there you can see the cardboard layer right there. Push back the mulch here. There's the cardboard layers. That's pretty much disintegrated. So right here, there's a bit of eggshell, you can see. And eggshell, when it goes in whole like that, it takes a little bit longer to compost and go away. Let's see what's underneath. So whatever else was in here is gone. Oh, look, there's some worm activity right there. Really good sign in your growing medium if you've got some worms, for sure. And you're more likely to get your kids come planting with you too, I find. So this is looking nice now, nice and fluffy, and really mixed in with that clay soil nicely. Okay, so that's the early summer section. So there's some later sections. Let's have a look over here. So some of this was done probably early to late fall. So before we have a dig, I'll just move back. So leaves here, let's see. Actually, we'll do this section. Move back the mulch. There's the cardboard layer. Let's see what's happening underneath here. I don't think the front area has had enough time to fully compost, but let's see. So there's a layer of leaves on top. So there is some leaf mulch happening, though not as much has disappeared as the back half. And again, this was planted, or placed rather, pretty late in the fall. So if this is left now the rest of the summer, I think the worms will come in and have a feast and get rid of that all. So actually it's not too bad, you know. It's mostly just those leaves on top. But there's some nice worm activity again here. So actually that's a bit of a surprise. I thought there would be more food scraps underneath there too. So just the leaves on top, so that's not too bad. Okay, let's check one more section here. So I know there was a few places that there was still a bit of waste. So yeah, so right here you can see, I don't know where those came from. Okay, there's quite a bit of food scraps here still. So also probably I'll move it back into the hot pile and get that moving there instead. But there's some decomposition, though not that much. So I'm thinking, because over the winter, not a lot of air, not a lot of movement, pretty anaerobic situation, and not much decomposition and composting because of the time frame. But near the back here, where it was planted almost, or placed rather, almost a year ago, there's quite a bit. So sorry, I'm shoveling with one hand and holding the camera with the other here. Okay, so let's have a look here. So there's a bit of peanut shell still, some eggshells on top. Again, those do take longer to disintegrate, but overall pretty good. So all the kitchen scraps have disappeared and the soil is much softer and workable than last year at this time. So there we go. So I hope to film again in 2 or 3 weeks and show you that hot pile in the back, and hopefully that'll get moving really fast. We've got lots of nice black compost to put in. Okay, have a great growing season and talk to you next time.